Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Have you ever watched late night talk shows?
Not really.
Did you watch when they did something special for Sweeps Week?
Didn't really care.
What if they promised a possessed girl who would be taken over live?
Since you put it that way, no.
All this and more on Gory Story Time.
Warning. Gory Story Time is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father. I don't say co-father, which isn't a thing.
Oh.
Right.
Are you now?
Nope, the only one.
Yeah.
It's the only one you get. Anyway, and I'm Craig, and this is our review of the movie Late Night with the Devil.
Yes.
This was a suggestion by you, actually.
It was.
Because you had watched it with your wife and said, you should watch this.
Yes. Yeah, found it like probably 4 months ago, and
just to embarrass her, his wife vomited because of this movie.
No, wait, don't spoil that. That's for later. I was gonna bring that up.
Okay, well, haha. Would you like to
Yeah,
give
a few
the
months
basic
ago.
premise?
Oh yeah. So this movie is the live tape of a real show that happened in the 70s with well-known current actors in the 70s. No.
Were they?
Yes.
Well known, I mean?
Currently.
Are they?
Yes.
From?
Ant-Man.
Oh, so one guy was like a side character, sort of, in a piece of Who Cares?
No.
That's what I heard.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Either way. So it's the real footage from this guy's last show, and they're finally revealing to the public why we never got to see it by playing it.
I mean, it was live on TV, according to the movie itself.
Oh.
It's just,
I thought they were live.
No.
Oh.
They were.
Oh, okay.
They talked about people calling the studio and complaining about stuff.
Okay. Well, so our host says for Sweeps Week, he's going to do the biggest, most special thing, and he's got a skeptic, a psychic, and a possessed girl who he's going to interview on the show tonight.
Yes, and a woman that's working with the possessed girl to...
Yes, to conjure.
Well, no, she wants to, help the girl, and he wants to use her for ratings.
Yeah.
But anyway, well...
Because this is good talk shows.
And here comes the part of the show where we get copyright strikes every single week. We're going to play the trailer for you, and then they're not going to allow us because apparently unless we talk over it...
Yeah, that's no longer fair use.
It's not fair use. But we're going to do it anyway because it's not a strike against the channel. It's just a copyright... I said it wrong. It's just, we can't make money off it.
Right. Which,
Since we have yet to...
maybe these movie companies, they would watch our review, see what we're talking about, and then if we review the movie well, maybe they'll actually want us to do it.
Yeah, well...
We're famous.
But anyway, why don't we roll the trailer?
We are back in 5, 4. Now, here's Mr. Midnight, Jack Darrow.
Oh, good evening, night owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again. Well, night owls, we've got a heck of a show in store for you tonight, and I'm very excited for you to see it all unfold before your very eyes. I really hope you love it. Gosh, I hope you love it. Please love it. Love it.
I'm trying to host a nationally syndicated talk show. And I'm trying to help you keep it on the air.
We all know how important it is to keep our sponsors and affiliates happy, but in my humble opinion, there is only one person who really matters in this whole darn crazy business. And that is you, our viewer.
You're meddling with things you don't understand.
Whoa! Now, as you know, here on Night Owls, we think it's very important to keep an open mind. Please welcome Dr. June Ross Mitchell and Lily, the young subject of the book, Conversations with the Devil.
I really don't think it's a good idea, Jack. She's becoming more unpredictable.
That's a good thing. That's why we still do live TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for a live television first as we attempt to commune with the devil.
Lily, can you hear me?
Good to see you again, Jack.
Lily, return to me.
This isn't about ratings anymore. No one's going anywhere.
How could you let it happen, Jack? How could you let it happen?
Please be warned, anyone with young children in the room. What you're about to see
You okay, Jack?
is profoundly disturbing and shocking.
You get out there, Mr. Midnight. And you knock him dead.
Well, all right.
That felt like a really long trailer.
Yeah. It also had,
Like
blurbs and stuff from people saying,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the behind-the-scenes information, we got to tell you why we've really shown up today. Why are we here, Jay?
Yeah. We're whores.
Yeah. I don't know why our producer just laughed at that, considering we basically say that every week.
Right. This is the same joke. This is a dead horse, all right?
And here we are. But, yes, we sell ourselves out to anyone who's got a check and says, tell people our things are good.
Yeah.
And they certainly are real.
Yes.
And
Yes, they are.
aren't made up in any way.
No. Cough,
This week,
cough.
Gory Story Time is brought to you by Evil Bloopers and Grisly Goofs. Evil Bloopers and Grisly Goofs is a special coming to Fact TV from GST Productions. We take the wildest, craziest, most gruesome mistakes ever caught on camera and add funny sound effects and voiceovers to make you laugh like you've never laughed before at someone's pain and suffering. Mwah! Evil Bloopers and Grisly Goofs. A bloody good time for the whole family.
All right.
And by
Satan's Snacks. Satan's Snacks are a delicious variety of snack cakes, donuts, and more. We have cream-filled sacrificial hearts. Ladyfingers are made from real ladies. Pentagrams. And if you love donut holes, try our donut souls. Satan's Snacks are guaranteed to be less healthy than the other brands you find on the shelf at your local grocery store. Satan's Snacks. They're so good that you might just trade your mortal soul for them.
Bet they're not that good.
No.
I mean, they're great because we're being paid to say that.
Oh, I'm not allowed to say that.
That's copywritten. All right, now it's time to get into the behind-the-scenes information, or as Jason likes to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
Or as I like to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
Oh, and why do you call it that?
Because potatoes are bad for you.
It's the low-carb version of meat and potatoes. That's all it is. What kind of meat are you saying if it's not meat and beef? Is it pork? Is it chicken? What is it?
It's whatever
Anyway.
Arby's had.
Do you want to go first, or would you like me to?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
The Carmichael character is very clearly based on James Randi. Randi was a talented magician who became a famous psychic debunker, and he started an institute that offered a large reward to anyone who could reproduce their supposed paranormal powers In controlled conditions over decades, nobody was able to win the money.
In a 2024 interview with The Movable Feast, Colin Cairns, I guess, explained the reason the film was set in 77. The film had to happen on a Monday night for Sweeps Week, so the stakes are high, and it's also got to be a make and break moment for Jack Delroy's career. It also had to be 1977 because it was the only year in the 70s that Halloween fell on a Monday night. So we thought 77, that's pretty much, you're right in the thick of it. So that worked for us.
Traditional folklore states that if a person makes a contract with the devil for earthly goods, the devil comes to claim his payment in 7 years. The documentary footage at the start of the film shows Delroy at the Grove in 69. His wife dies in 76, 7 years later.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Actor David Dastmalchian
Yes.
was cast in the lead role and film's central character, Jack Delroy, after the film's director read an article by him about regional horror TV hosts that he wrote for Fangoria magazine.
The name of the mysterious men-only club situated in the California Redwoods was The Grove. It was inspired by the real-life Bohemian Grove located at 20601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California. The Bohemian Grove's membership boasts several politicians, including 3 presidents of the United States, industrialists, and other noted figures.
One of the real Grove's founders was Ambrosi Bierce, author of several horror stories and The Cynical Devil's Dictionary.
The Grove's rituals have been described as falling between occult and kitsch.
Yep.
Include frequent images of owls.
This horror movie's filmmakers, the Cairns brothers, Colin and Cameron Cairns, have said that the picture is an unofficial statement. In the 70s and 80s, there was something dangerous about late-night TV. Talk shows in particular were a window into some strange adult world. We thought combining that charged live-to-air atmosphere with the supernatural could make for a uniquely frightening film experience.
Cult leader Szandor Diabo appears to be based on the Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey with that same S name for a middle name.
Yes. The amount of time that the opening black and white sequence runs is about 8 minutes. It was inspired by the 1980s documentary, The Killing of America. The later sequences in black and white in the movie are on set and off-air interludes during commercial breaks.
Yes. Famed horror novelist Stephen King has praised the movie. He said, "I got a screener. It's absolutely brilliant. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Your results may vary, as they say, but I urge you to watch it when you can."
The actual specific episodes of the Don Lane show that inspired this horror movie were those that featured Uri Geller and Doris Stokes.
The movie made $666,666 on Sunday, March 24th, 2024 at the box office. According to the distributor, in all likelihood it wasn't a coincidence, as box office figures can be manipulated by around 5% by the distributor to compensate for receipts not tracked by Rentrack.
So they picked that number because it had 666 twice in it. Yeah.
Right.
Though set in New York City, the film was shot at the Dockland Studios in Melbourne, Australia.
The movie's late-night talk show was inspired by the Don Lane show. The Australian newspaper, the Sydney Morning Herald, reported on the 2nd of June 2023 that the picture takes its inspiration from the American-born Don Lane and his eponymous late-night Australian talk show, The Don Lane Show.
When Dr. June Ross Mitchell is trying to exorcise the demon Abraxas out of Lily, she orders Vade retro Satana. It's a quote in Latin used in exorcisms that means, "Get behind me, Satan," as an exhortation to keep him to be gone.
The footage of a SWAT team in action is actual footage of the LAPD's attempt to serve warrants at 1466 East 54th Street on personnel of the
Symbionese Liberation Army.
Sunday, May 19th, 74.
The SLA. They're the ones that had kidnapped Patty Hearst, and she sided with her kidnappers.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the debut feature film of actress Ingrid Torelli, who portrayed the satanic cult survivor Lily Diabo.
Ian Bliss, who played Carmichael Haig, was originally hired to play another character after he was originally hired to be a cast reader. Bliss had just 4 days to prepare for the role of Haig, as the original actor withdrew at the last minute.
The movie, which takes place on Halloween, had 2 film festival screenings held on Halloween in 2023. India's Mumbai Film Festival and Brisbane's International Film Festival in Australia.
Wow. Oh, that's it.
Well,
no, wait.
There's one thing.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we like to give the Rotten Tomatoes scores. For those who don't know, Rotten Tomatoes is supposed to take all the professional critics, which doesn't include us, and boil it down to positive and negative reviews, and the percent that they give you is the percentage of positive reviews.
Yes.
Your results may vary.
Yes. So when you click onto the website and then you click on the number that they have, there is a all critics option, and that's what I had to click on to find 97%.
And then they also allow people to go on and vote, positive or negative, and 77% of the people agree. Usually, the people are higher than the critics, but apparently the critics like this 20% more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now, I know you like this movie, so we usually go with the opposite for the first thing. So what was your least favorite thing about this movie?
Well, there was this very obviously CGI electric surge that kept going through the building, like from about halfway through when the instrument just started going off. After that, there was like this electrical surge that would just like flow through the wires in the building, and yeah, that was bad. It wasn't great CG.
My least favorite thing is, for being found footage, the black and white footage of what was happening between takes was cool, but doesn't fit, as in reality, there wouldn't be cameras going around through the audience and through the people and listening to them having private conversations behind the scenes. And it bugged me that...
Like, it's a cool idea, but it wouldn't work for the time that they said it. So my favorite thing is there was a point in this movie when I was watching it 4 months ago with my wife that there was a special effect on the screen that was done so well.
And it was not CG.
You
could tell.
Because it looked really, really, really good.
It did.
And she puked.
Yeah. One of the characters rips open his own stomach, revealing that it was full of worms.
Yeah, and then there's just like worms falling all over the place and dumping on the floor, and just so many worms inside this guy.
I had no queasiness from this, but his wife is also pregnant, so she's queasy a lot.
Yes.
To be fair, she was probably queasy when conceiving.
Well. Either way, I thought it was cool because, like, I didn't think it was cool that my wife was puking. I didn't like that. All right, just to clear the air.
But with all the ads you
all
hear,
those things. Oh, people are having heart attacks in the theater watching this movie. Oh, this person puked
vomiting
and left the theater. No, you didn't.
And then this one, like, you actually watched someone puke.
And I was like, I've never seen someone do that before. Not from a movie. These movies barely get my heart racing. This one did a pretty good job once it got going.
I'm not easy to vomit, you know?
No.
my stepfather told me a story about finding M&Ms in the rabbit cage when he was a kid.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm eating Cocoa Puffs, and I didn't care.
Yeah, well,
That's
there are some things where you should be grossed out.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't going to stop eating Cocoa Puffs. Are you nuts?
Just at least during the, hey, blah, 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 poop eating, blah, blah, blah. Like,
nah, iron stomach.
Yeah.
Round iron stomach. But anyway, my favorite part, boy, what would I have to say? Honestly, I thought that the acting overall was just dead on.
Yeah,
I liked all of them,
especially like reading that guy who played.
I was born a year after this supposedly took place.
Yeah,
but I've seen plenty of like footage of stuff from the 70s and I remember stuff from the early 80s enough that like it feels
almost like
right.
You're watching it then.
Yeah,
that's good. I wouldn't necessarily know about the 70s stuff, but I have watched recent talk shows. And
mine was in reruns, but I watched plenty of 70s stuff.
And yeah, I mean, the acting is on point. And with that guy, like I said, Haig, and only getting 4 days, like almost like the most convincing character in the movie sometimes is this way that he's portraying himself.
All right, now on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. Really good. Overall, the special effects were good. The acting was good. I liked the story. I think that this just kind of went together perfectly.
I'm going to say 8, not quite as much as you, but I mean, 8 is still...
I mean, 8's an 8,
like,
you know?
That definitely is my recommendation to go. It's on Shudder, it said?
It's on Shudder.
If you have that, or, you know, if you
AMC owns Shudder, so it's on AMC too.
Yeah. But definitely, if you have a way to watch it, watch it.
Yeah, definitely. I bought it.
That's how we watched it, because we don't have Shudder. And we're not being paid by anybody, as we've complained multiple times earlier.
Yeah, give us money. And, so 8.5, 8.
Which is...
Go watch this.
It's definitely worth it. And we didn't spoil everything, so...
There's plenty in this movie.
Yeah. All right, so
and now there's stuff on the screen.
There should be.
Yes. So you can watch this show on channel 1082, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook. And when I say us, I mean Gory Story Time has a Facebook page, but so does Fact TV. Like them both.
Yes. You can go to factdate.com, watch a bunch of the back episodes of this, as well as many other shows and entertainment that they do.
And then you can follow us on X, a.k.a. Twitter.
Yes.
That's the dead name. Dead name means something different in a horror review. Anyway.
Probably.
Right?
I think so.
But anyway, yeah, you can follow me at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase.
I'm at Jiggly Fernbrain. I only tweet things that he says that I find funny and are out of context.
And he doesn't tweet very often.
I don't.
He's been
slacking. Out of a room. It's like, if you tweet now, you get old ones. And it's like, I don't have room for the screenshots of the old ones so that I can post new ones.
What was the other... go to YouTube, type in Gory Story Time, and 2 things that'll pop up should be the Gory Story Time page, like the channel, subscribe, but also Fact TV, because they also post them. And, you know, give them a subscription and a like and all of that.
Yeah.
Get the notification bell, etc., etc.
Yes.
And that's it, right?
Yes, it is.
So
until next week, I've been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig.
And Sweet Dreams.